Hello, this is Dead Hamster, and today we're going to be making a new level for Mario Kart 64. This is going to be a new tutorial for the newer build. Um, Going to do Lon Lon Ranch from Ocarina of Time. This isn't going to be the best course to do right now. It's just an oval, which is very boring. Additionally, currently I'm not supporting transparency. I have to work in a small bit of code to switch to a transparent mode for drawing geometry. So without that, this fence isn't going to look right either. So we'll have to replace that with a solid wooden board texture. But we'll still be able to make the course. It'll still work fine. Again, just kind of boring. Not going to be the best level, just going in a giant circle for three laps. But it is simple geometry. There's not a lot of complex things to draw. So again, it's going to be a good thing for the tutorial, something easy and simple to show. So to actually get this out of the game, we're going to pause the emulator. I'm using the, and I'll have a download link in the description with a whole package of the tools and things that I'm using. Right here, the NEMU64 graphics, which will allow me to extract a model from this. So we're going to select the export VRML, and in your C drive, you should have a folder called VRML. And then we're going to let it run for just a few frames, and then pause it again. At this point, we can go into this folder. You'll see a whole bunch of bitmaps. Most of these are going to be because I let it run for so many frames. So we're going to go ahead and actually delete everything and just let it go for one frame. There we go. Still some duplicates, but it shouldn't affect us in the end. But the main file we're looking for is this right here, the WRL file. We can go ahead and drop that onto 3ds Max, which is the main program that we use for Overcart. It is technically feasible to do all this with Blender, but currently I don't have any tool sets to support it as far as making some of the raw assets that you'll see later on in the tutorial. But we're going to go ahead and drop this right here. Pull up our perspective view. Now then, this camera we will not need, we can delete. I have no idea what that is. That's strange. I imagine that's the camera or some, I don't know. Anyway, we're just going to delete all of that as well. Link we won't need. This we won't need. So we're just going through. It'll export all of the 3D geometry, including characters and anything else. So we're just going to run through and get all the extra parts that we're not going to want and delete those from the level. Very good. One of the things I like to set up is the statistics, the total and the selection. And then I think it's 7. Yeah, we'll actually bring it up. So, like I said, very simple. If this is all that it is, this is going to be... We can take a lot of shortcuts if we only use 400 triangles. That can't be right. Okay, well, we're going to be able to take a lot of shortcuts today. No, it's missing a ton of stuff. All right, hold on. Let me go back to... like that. I know why. Because I'm in the corner and I'm not looking at it. So I'm going to have to, one moment, turn that off, unpause the game, because I wasn't looking at this object, it wasn't rendering. So what I think I'm gonna do is this. That's not okay. That's just the wonderful. Divided. No, aren't you, Nabby? Hopefully this will catch everything. So same as before. There we go. 2800 sounds much more reasonable. I'm still getting this stuff as well. I'm getting the sign at least, and the door frame. But you know what? Maybe if I... Do I even need to? Do I have the windows open? Or is that the window? Oh, that is the window. That's not a hole. That's just an extra face on top. Okay. Yeah, so I think we should be good with that. Not sure what that is, but I suppose we'll see. So now we have to start putting materials together. Oh, you bums. Really? That's such a terrible way of doing it. Oh man, Nintendo was funny back in the 90s. Why would you do that? There's usually going to be at least a little bit of cleaning up you'll have to do with some of these objects. You don't really have to technically, but you kind of have to. It took a lot of shortcuts back then. Alright, so anyway, pull up our material editor, merge all these objects. So we're going to go to attach list, just select everything. Get one big object. Alright, and here's this crazy multi-material. Okay. Cool. So that should probably There we go. Cool. Super duper cool. So, obviously this is using some type of multi-layering for the textures. So we're going to just do a completely new grass. We're not worried about that, but that's at least one thing that'll be different. Let's go to this here. No. Also, pretty much all of this we'll have to remake anyway, so doesn't much matter. You can't, I mean, you can, but you also can't have overlapping collision like that. It's going to really mess with a lot of stuff. Alright, so 80. Nice. That's normal. Yes, I know. There's that. So that one it looks like we'll have to redraw and just add color to. Let's take a look at this one too. Nice. 45. This is going to be interesting, having to trim this down. I'm assuming that all of these are duplicates, and it's just, yes, I know. I think there's a way to... There it is, there totally is. What is it again? It's like... There it is, 7. Perfect. Alright, so much easier. When you've opened your file, instead of trying to go through, I knew there was an easier way. Under References, Asset Tracking, you're going to add a Configure User Path. And for external files, you want to add the VRML file for your for this actual project that you have open. And I will include a Mac script. That does that. And look at that. Now we have Long Long Ranch. Except for this grass, which we have to redo. It's all nice and pretty. It's actually pretty happy with that. Thinking actually that these are good to go. Cool. All right, so 1,200 triangles is good. It's very good. Oh, it's going to be so much better once I get rid of Link. Then we're going to be talking. Weld all the vertices with a... Oh, goodness. This needs to be scaled way up. Now, there we go. Clearing all the smoothing groups. And now I can delete that, and that, and that, and that. Beautiful. Okay. So also now I can go to the material, and let's see, right now we have 180, it looks like. So this is going to remove, since I just deleted Link and that camera object, it's going to remove any faces that, or any materials that no longer exist in the scene. It'll take a while, but we'll be done soon. We need to get that number down to like 25, 30 at most. So I know again that most of these are duplicates, but it's just a matter of getting that all sorted out. We'll run it again after that. I'll have to run it a few times. So with a map this small with only 1,200 triangles, we're going to be able to build this pretty easily. We won't need to split up as many sections. We can almost render the entire thing in each section. You don't need to, obviously, but yeah, it's going to be very easy to draw this level. Which is part of the reason that I was chosen. Well, while this is running, I'm going to grab a bottle of water and I'll be back in a moment. Seems like a bit much. There we go. Down to 55. That's why it was taking so long. Took out almost 130 materials on that pass alone. So we're going to see the rest is for things like this and this having 3 different material IDs. They can all be 167. And we'll fix these later and condense them, but for now, just want to have them match. I'm also going to save this while I there we go. Same thing, just going through and condensing the material IDs. We got 148. Just going to clean up this here, save a few faces, even delete this if we wanted to, but we'll leave it for there we go, looks good. Okay, so these are all the same, right? No, I went through those. Okay, so this we're gonna have to change the material of. Find a different texture. And actually, I'm wondering now that I look at these. Okay, 32. We're fine. Just worried about the texture sizes. Can't go past 32 by 64 in either direction. Actually looks perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. No, not exactly, but close. Never remember this part. Perfect. And now we have our wooden fence. I'm actually going to take the, you know what, let's take a step back. Now let's take the whole thing nice. Oh god. Slow it down, Captain. I messed it up that badly. There we go. And that worked on the outside ones as well. So we just took that gate off the top. Again, I don't currently have transparency. It's much easier to just sneak that out of there. So that too will go. And this tree, I just don't want to deal with that. So that's going to go. Alright, so from here, we have to replace the grass that we had deleted earlier. I'm actually just going to put a dot right there to give me a little something to work with when I'm building that out. Nice. Okay. No. Just don't want to deal with that either. I don't need these extroverts. I could do it without them and save on a couple triangles as well. We're going to go ahead and throw those in there anyway. This one I shouldn't need them for. Okay, so that's gone. So we're just, again, drawing the geometry to close up the rest of the level. I actually don't like that. So is there another grass that they have, or am I going to have to use one of my own? Yeah, pull out one of the others. Oh, yeah, right. Everything is tiny. Now we got to do the inside as well. You know? No, we do. Alright, I can't deal with this at this size anymore. This is way too small. The number of units across it's supposed to be is about 100 here. And why is that why would I ever want that? I never ever want that. And we're looking at 0.2, so it needs to be like a lot bigger. Whenever you're scaling objects, never scale the object itself. I don't know if the plugin is taking account of the object scale. I can't say that for sure. So always scale the verts. So we're just gonna throw that way up there. See how that looks. 5. Okay, good. Closer. Do that again. Thirty-three. 7. Okay, that's close enough. So none of this really matters as much. What I mean by that is that you're not going to be able to get in here. We're not going to make this collidable. This is just going to be so that the player can see grass inside here. Oh, wow. They really did that. They really did. I need to do. I definitely do. So because of that little strip right there, we need to go around and do this on every single corner. It's not going to like that one bit, but let's see. Okay. So now. So what we're doing here is fixing up some of the bitmaps that we have. So this one, for example, is using transparency. So to get around that, what we're going to do is put a layer underneath it. Place the, what's the size of this? No, can't do that. It's illegal. And place this underneath it. There. Go ahead and delete that. And that should be good. There. So go ahead and, Jesus Christ, flatten this, save it, and would you look at that? How pretty does that look? Almost pretty. I mean, it doesn't look good at all, but it's almost pretty. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing with this here. I4AF. Yeah, this one. No, this one. Get rid of this first. Same thing here. I guess so. Anyway. Wow, that looks so different. Why is it so different? Oh, I know why, because I just did it at 100. What's this one? 75? Yeah, that's better. Much better, look at that. So, same thing here. No. And another one done. This one looks terrible. I guess it wasn't that bad actually. Just look at that from the viewport. That's good enough. Alright, continuing. So why is that crooked? That's weird. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so now we can do the grass, I guess. Cool. So we want to clip the inside walls now because we've built that little gap. Can tap that. And move on down the line. Again, we don't need to be clean with this because this isn't going to be collidable. This is We're going to close this up as well, so the players don't drive into the middle. Set that. And there's that. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I'm not even sure if I wanted to do these, but might as well. I don't believe that I'm actually going to be able to draw these. I'm going to have to split it in half, but it's easy enough. I'm going to convert it to a polygon. No, mesh had the better cutting, right? Mesh has cuts. I don't remember anymore. Had to be poly then. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Just had it. Alrighty, so that's pretty sloppy. I'm going to try to fix up as much of that as I can. Really, I don't even need to do any of that. All of these. Scale them on down. Yeah, that's good. Good enough. This I don't really care for, but that's what it's gonna be. Alright, very good. So, Lon Lon Ranch. We have our 3D model finally. It's in good enough shape that we can, well, as I say that, that appears to be in good enough shape. So, let's go ahead and start breaking it apart. Okay, I don't even know if I remember how to do this anymore. So, there we go. That should be it for the part one, getting everything together, the raw model. I'm going to make a quick pause here, skip into part two, and then that's going to be actually splitting it apart, getting it into the sections, and preparing to to put it all together. So I'm going to just take a quick pause, collect myself, and get into part two.